latest. Keep on dropping hits till they know we the greatest. Yeah, yeah. Everything is alright. In the studio, we be all night. Everything is alright. In the studio, we be all night.
We been flying, look out, beat though. People trying, too much ego. I can take them out solo like Greedo. We been flying, look out, beat though. People trying, too much ego. I can take them out solo like Greedo.
Close, never been an iota. On another level, top flow, below us. Ultralight beam me up, deep glower. Better retreat from these space force. Close, never been an iota. On another level, top flow, below us. Ultralight beam me up, deep glower. Better retreat from these space force. This one for my aces, came from different bases. Traveling them places, yeah, conquering the nations. Ain't no rocket science, but chemistry what made us. Keep on dropping hits till they know we the greatest. Yeah, yeah. Everything is alright. In the studio, we be all night. Everything is alright. In the studio, we be all night.
We been flying, look out, beat though. People trying, too much ego. I can take them out solo like Greedo. We been flying, look out, beat though. People trying, too much ego. I can take them out solo like Greedo.
Never been an iota. On another level, top flow, below. Ultralight beam me up, deep glower. Better retreat from these space force. Close, never been an iota. On another level, top flow, below. Ultralight beam me up, deep glower. Better retreat from these space force. Space force. Space force.
Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I am one of the two kings of the Rube Empire, the Philosopher King, the Ivory Tower, the Mad Scientist Matt, and I've got a perspective on things. With me, though you can't see him, is the ghost of the kick-ass Duke, the right hand of the king's the producer, Dusty.
That's right, I am still here. I am still with us, though in a more corporeal form.
More incorporeal.
So, welcome to Plausible Foolishness. Or
Yes.
incorporeal, excuse me.
Actually, you're...
How are you, my friend?
You're running between your house and another building, trying to get set up. And
Correct.
You'll be with us in bodily form shortly.
Yes.
Yeah, once
hopefully, in
once the
just a
seance
few
is
moments.
complete, we'll be good. Don't perform seances; they're bad.
Though we
That's
don't believe in
evil.
that.
That's playing with the fire that you should not be playing with. How am I doing? I am doing well.
They're bad.
It's It's been a busy day. Busy day, and that's why we're starting a little late, 10 minutes late. Apparently, Rumble's not so easy to live stream to, so let's try to get that set up. And Skype is being weird and beeping on me all the time, so I apologize for that too. That being said, welcome to the show.
We've got a lot of weird things
Yes.
going on tonight.
It's Weird Wednesday.
Yes.
So how are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a crazy day of work, run, hurry up. And then now I'm here. So, yeah. Fun stuff, Maynard.
Excellent.
But I am good. I'm doing very good.
So, it's time to talk about the subjects of today. Do you want to start with what we were talking about earlier, or do you want to start with the news article?
Yes. We can definitely start with what we talked about earlier and how okay. So I work in the customer service business, and I deal with customers every day, calling them, talking to them, taking care of their needs, all that fun stuff. And one of the interesting things is I call for generating business, which I usually call customers and whatnot from the past. Well, I to
Oh, you're
few
breaking
of them
up.
have moved out of the state of.
Hello?
Have I? Am I?
Yeah, now you're coming in clear. You were breaking up pretty bad.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
No, it's no
Sorry.
biggie.
All right.
Yeah,
How's that?
you're.
Does that work a little bit better?
Yeah, you're clear. At least I think you are. Nope, now you. I think we're losing connection. Yeah, I think the beeps are you coming in and coming out.
Uh-oh. I should be good now.
Yeah,
I'm
now
on
you're
Wi-Fi.
good. Now you're good. It may have been the switch. You may have been switching from
And
data or from cell to Wi-Fi. Woo, nice and blurry. There you go.
diddle. I'm here.
Let's give you a background. Boop. There you go.
And I wore a green shirt with a green.
Yes. Excellent.
That's gonna be fun.
Only
Sorry
the darker,
for the delay.
Only the darker greens, the shadows on your shirt, are being filtered out, so you're good.
Okay.
Yes. So you're in the service industry.
I talk to customers, and several of them have moved out of the state, as people are known to do when they move to Florida. All of them.
Wait. No, they moved out of.
Yeah, they moved out of the state of Florida.
They
were here. Wait. They were here. They got service from us, and then they moved out of state.
But this is Florida. Everybody's coming to Florida.
Yes, and those are new customers that call me, and usually they're from California. I'd say
old customers.
But older customers are moving out, and they're moving to Texas and Tennessee. That's the only two places that people are moving to are Texas and Tennessee.
Texas, they're finding jobs probably with better pay.
Could be.
Pay ain't so great here in Florida.
That's true.
To be honest with you.
That is true.
That's one of the failings of Florida. The pay rate sucks, and the cost of living is starting to just be crazy.
Well, it doesn't help.
It's because of the influx of people.
Yeah, exactly. The massive influx of people and people that are essentially working from home. so they can live anywhere, or they can work anywhere and live anywhere, and so they choose to live in Florida, which means they're getting paid massive amounts of money from their usually New York and California jobs to live in Florida, and they're selling their multi-million-dollar tiny homes to buy multi-million-dollar huge homes here.
I mean, that's a sweet deal.
Yeah.
That is a sweet deal, if you can get that.
And I don't blame them, because I would do the same thing. But I did the same thing 20 some odd years ago when I moved here from Indiana.
Nice.
So in this discussion that we were having about Tennessee, and if we were going to live anywhere other than Florida, it would probably be Tennessee.
Yes.
We started talking about some
just
of the failings. Yeah, gorgeous. The Smoky Mountains just takes my breath away when my memories of that. And I can't wait to go back there again. One of the failings of Florida that we were discussing was the lack of constitutional carry. Texas has it.
Yeah.
Tennessee has it. I think
because we were saying, why would anybody leave Florida? Florida's just better right now. You know,
in a lot of ways,
Except,
it is.
In a lot of ways, yeah. But then, you know, Texas is great, Tennessee is great, but Florida just has that vibe of being better.
Yeah.
But then we don't have constitutional carry.
Nope.
Which is completely lame, and we should. And Rick Sabatini
really
is doing everything that he can to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him. And we did talk about a while back that in an episode called Florida, the Gunshine State.
Yes.
That DeSantis said he would sign that bill if it came across his desk.
Yep. Which I got really excited for, because holy cow, is this going to actually happen? Because usually if DeSantis says, hey, I will sign it, the Congress will go, okay, we'll make it. And it becomes real, and it hasn't become real yet, and I'm starting to get nervous.
There's reasons why. So I'm sure Sabatini, as soon as he is able, is going to put that bill in, because he's done it since he started.
Yeah.
The problem was it kept going to this public safety committee.
Yeah.
And the person running that committee was a
leftist.
You know, basically. I don't know what party he was for, but probably a leftist. And so it wouldn't make it out of the committee, and it would not, get put before, Congress in Florida.
Correct.
But the guy who was running that committee is no longer running that committee. Somebody else is, and he's doing some other thing, right?
Well, DeSantis, I believe, reorganized that committee in order to make this thing happen. So I hope that happens, that it comes about and becomes a actual thing. That would make me very happy.
Wesh2 News at wesh.com has this 9 days ago.
Okay.
January 24th. It was updated at 6:34 p.m. January 24th. Florida lawmaker files bill to allow gun owners to open carry without permit. Florida could be the latest state to do away with concealed carry gun permits and allow people to openly carry firearms. Lake County Republican Representative Anthony Sabatini, I said Rick Sabatini, it's Tony Sabatini.
Is it Tony Sabatini?
Filed a bill. Okay. Yeah, has filed a bill that would allow those who can legally possess guns to do so without a permit. The bill would also allow gun owners to open carry, which means they would be visible and allowed in most public places. More than 30 states currently have some form of open carry. Baker said the visibility of a firearm is a crime deterrent and improves public safety, and he's absolutely right.
Yes.
But it also makes you, but be warned, if you're the one open carrying, you're the target for somebody who doesn't care and wants to, make sure that he doesn't get taken out immediately. So it's a give and take.
So I put forth this scenario. You're at Waffle House, and You're looking for a quick cash grab, right? Which Waffle House is known to be. I know quite a few of them that have been robbed over several years. Just it's a common occurrence.
Well, it's
And
because everybody's who's eating there, their bowels are too. Their bowels
they're
are
too
being
bound up.
assaulted so hard, so
No argument
devastatingly
for
that
me
they
on that
don't
one.
have
But
the reaction speed.
I love my Waffle House. So
Awful
then you
House,
look at
good, good
through the
times.
glass, and there's 9 people with guns. Are you going to rob the place? Because your
No.
chances of surviving that encounter are slim to none.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's
Now,
like robbing a
now
Dunkin'
again,
Donuts. Are you going to rob
the
one,
the
or are
person
you
who
going to
doesn't
walk out?
care, the person who doesn't care about surviving and just wants to do maximum damage, you're going to be the target. But I
Yes.
think those are few and far between. You
Here's the
know.
other scenario where this can be advantageous. I still believe in concealed carry. I love the concealed
Sure.
carry permit. I think it's a good thing. If you want to carry a concealed permit and allows you to buy guns quicker, it's great. I don't think it should be done away with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you're a concealed carry and you're walking around a Walmart currently as the law stands, and your shirt rides up a little bit and exposes just a little bit of your firearm, or even not even your firearm, the holster of your
Mm-hmm.
firearm, you can be arrested for brandishing a
Yep.
firearm.
It's total bullcrap.
It is unforgiving how much a lot of corporations will go after people for carrying a firearm into their stores. Walmart is notorious for it. So,
We have a deep state update.
oh no.
Deep state says, "I will never be at Waffle House. Problem solved."
I chose Waffle House because of the glass walls. It's
Mm.
You can see through it easily and see the people inside easily. That's why I chose that example. But I understand not a lot of people like Waffle House, but it's kind of a staple here in Florida.
All right, so uh, the article says more than 30 states currently have some form of open carry. Baker said the visibility of a firearm is a crime deterrent and improves public safety. All of those are
Yes.
true.
Yep.
He's quoted saying, "And where that's occurring now, no problems at all, none whatsoever." Baker said. So the whole fear of a wild, wild west and people being scared or increased crime, none of that is true.
No.
And in fact, just the opposite. Baker said.
Yes.
Even though the Sabatini bill has no Senate companion and is not scheduled to be heard in committee, though I'm sure it will be. This was 9 days ago.
Yeah.
Senate President Wilton Simpson has said he supports the measure. That's great. What I would say, is that if a constitutional carry bill were to make it to the Senate floor, I would vote yes. Simpson said. That's awesome. Governor Ron DeSantis has also indicated he supports it.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, "I am vehemently opposed to it," Orange County Sheriff John Mina said. Okay, well, he needs
Surprise.
to get out of here.
Surprise. Well, he's
Mina.
right there with Demings.
Yeah, Mina, or is it Mina?
Mina.
Okay, Mina, a Democrat, calls the idea of open carry dangerous, especially when you consider the more than 70 million tourists who visit Central Florida every year. Who gives a crap?
They're not Florida citizens.
Yeah. So what? Disney is still going to make you leave them, you're not
You
going to
can't
get
carry them into
into
Disney.
Disney.
Have you
You're
gone
still
through
not going to be able to
security at
carry them
Disney?
into Universal. You're still not going to get them through SeaWorld.
Nope.
Any of the parks are not going to, the smallest park is not going to let you in with it.
No. Gatorland won't let you do it.
So what are you talking about, the 70 million tourists? That's not an argument.
No.
Okay, here he goes. "We already have too many guns on the street. I'm real concerned about those day-to-day interactions with people who get into disagreements and arguments." Are you serious? Who is making problems with guns on the street?
Usually
Average everyday
criminals.
citizens?
No,
Oh, whoa. Criminals?
criminals.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's
More
insane.
than more than average, the people that make problems are people that have already made problems. They already have warrants out, things like that. They have arrest histories. People that aren't allowed to have guns are usually the ones that make problems with guns, not people who are legally able and constitutionally able to carry a gun.
Yep. We have a constitutional right. It's ridiculous that there's even a law against us
From being able to open carry.
carrying a firearm in public.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, and I don't think it's a good idea for the general public just to be walking around with a firearm on their side.
Why not?
Because finish the statement. I
Yeah.
I don't think it should be allowed. I'm a professional, and he is.
He's
But
a professional
that's an
politician.
elitist attitude. Yeah, right. That's an
Do you know how
elitist
long
attitude.
Mina spent on the road? 2 years. That's it. After that, he's been behind a desk. I really didn't like Mina. I voted for Spike.
I didn't know. I don't think I voted for anybody because I didn't know anything about them. Because like half the local election stuff, they give you zero information about, and you can't like some of them. You go to their websites and there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing about them.
You literally have to read between the lines on a lot of what they are. I got a flyer today for a city council person who's running in Apopka, and what tipped me off to which way she leans is she wants to build things better, was the exact term that she wrote on her publication.
Which means
went,
build back better.
Bingo. And I went, oh, okay. I know where you're leaning. Got it.
Are you running for city architect or like city engineer or something like that?
Nope. Commissioner.
Okay, so then what are you talking about building things better?
Building the community better.
Build back better, and you're basically a globalist stooge.
Yep.
No thank you, bye-bye.
Nope. She's stealing a slogan from a party that
Not just the party. She's stealing the slogan from Davos.
Yeah.
From the World Economic Forum and people like George Soros and Klaus Schwab.
Yes.
Klaus.
Exactly.
If that is not a global terrorist, European
German
James Bond terrorist name, I don't know what is.
German name.
It's a cool sounding name too.
Klaus.
Yeah, it's Klaus. A cool name. Like I can imagine a cool dude named Klaus, and you'd want to be friends with him. But I can also imagine a James Bond villain named Klaus.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
a Swedish guy that's walking around. I am Klaus.
Yeah. But so John Mina is an idiot.
Yes. I don't like him.
He's a fool who does not understand. I mean,
he's a politician with a badge.
Yeah, exactly. He's a politician with a badge. He's supposed to know about policing, but he doesn't. And he thinks that he thinks that the average person is an idiot who's going to brandish a firearm at the drop of a hat and end up slaughtering people for no reason over run-of-the-mill arguments and garbage like that. And that couldn't be further from
here's my argument to that. How many interactions do police have with people who already conceal carry? It's pretty regular, believe it or not. Quite a bit.
Yeah, I imagine.
How many incidences are there where the person with a concealed carry actually has issues with the police officer and their gun?
None.
It's a big fat zero.
Yeah.
Other than police officer taking the gun for their safety.
Yeah, but these are people who went out and went through the necessary things to get the permit.
The class,
but
the
he's
background
acting
check,
like,
and
but he's acting like with this bill, People who didn't go through that are going to be dangerous, right?
Well, anyone with any type of weapon that they don't understand is going to be dangerous. A child with a knife is dangerous, right?
Sure.
So if
Sure.
you have a
But
firearm, it's your
the
responsibility.
the
The
2
2 hour.
hour, not even the 2 hour, the 30-minute lecture and the demonstration that you can point and shoot and not lose control of the gun does not make you a great. Oh, also the $70 or whatever it is doesn't make you automatically a great marksman.
145
Yeah, whatever. Um, oh yeah, for the permit, it was like
for the
it's usually
class.
like $70 for the class. Yeah.
No, it's
Uh,
140 now for the class, and it's $170 for the permit now.
but you can get Groupons for like cheap, and if you do it
Yeah,
at the gun show, it's cheaper usually.
true,
Um,
because they're doing
but
it en masse,
yeah, exactly. But
and it's all through Shoot Straight. Little plug there for
but
Shoot Straight.
that being said, that doesn't make you automatically a good marksman.
No,
And automatically a level-headed, cool-headed person. But statistically, concealed carry, permit carriers are great.
yeah,
There's almost no problems with them. And
yeah.
extrapolate that, that's just going to grow because there'll be
Statistically,
no deterrent. And
statistically,
we have 30 other states to look at to see that that's the case. So what is
yeah.
his garbage?
So statistically, um, concealed carry permit holders are less likely to commit crimes than police officers.
That's awesome.
That is a huge statistic. Um, and it's not the NRA that put that out. Guess who put that out? The Department for Firearm Safety.
Hmm.
Yeah, FBI and Department of Firearm Safety put that statistic out. I think it was 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years
That's
ago.
great. That's
So,
good stuff.
I mean, that right there should tell you everything you need to know about the type of people that are willing to carry firearms and willing to make sure other people are safe.
Well,
I mean,
you know why? It's because they're carrying firearms because they want to protect themselves and their families. And frankly, cops are carrying firearms because they
are required to.
because well they're required to. B, a portion of them do want to serve and protect.
Yes.
But C, a portion of them like the power that they wield and the authority that they wield over other people.
Yes.
And, frankly, they like the job for those reasons,
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, but it's true. And we can't deny that.
No.
Is it the majority? No. No, it isn't.
And
But
that's a good thing.
yeah, it is a good thing. But at the same time, I mean, look at what's going down in places like Australia and in
Yeah.
Canada, Even the good ones can be pushed down that slope because they're just doing their job,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, police are dangerous.
Police can.
We gotta.
Police are in a very unique situation in the fact
They
that
are.
they are bestowed this, I don't want to say power, responsibility. They're
But also
bestowed,
power.
but with that comes power. Um,
Well, with great power comes great responsibility. See,
correct.
they're bestowed the power, and with it comes responsibility. But not, but just like a superhero and a supervillain, the supervillain doesn't bear the responsibility. They chuck that
They
off to the
shirk
side
it.
and do whatever the hell they want.
Exactly.
the superhero. And so, like I said, some cops are heroes.
Yeah.
They
I'd say a
risk their
majority
lives
I'd say a
to save
majority of the
people.
police officers that I've had encounters with, and my family, I have several of them that work in the sheriff's office, that are police officers, that are deputies, are
Sure.
absolutely amazing people. I love
hmm
them,
hmm
and I
Well, we
love
had
what they do.
that one dude that Ray brought on,
Yeah.
who is a police officer, and he's a cool dude.
Yep.
He is. He is.
I've
And
got a retired deputy on my staff in my company that I work with, and I love the guy. The guy's awesome.
sure, there's people at my work who work in in security at my work, and they're almost all of them retired police officers,
Hmm.
and they're all cool dudes. I just think, I mean, and you know where I'm coming from,
Yeah.
but we have to realize
That
we
they can
have to
abuse
look
the
at the
pot.
world today.
Yes.
We have to look at the world today. I'm not saying that there isn't a place for policing.
Hmm.
I just don't think that I've become convinced that policing shouldn't be tied to government
Okay. You're
because,
thinking it should be a civilian-run organization?
yeah, or even a for-profit or a for-profit organization with competition.
Okay.
You
So more
know,
like a security agency.
yes, yes,
Um,
security agencies that that compete for your neighborhood's business.
that's essentially what a lot of police, um, like city police officers, are
hmm
just that, glorified security officers. Because the only
Well, yeah, and like
constitutional,
in a small town, they're residents of that town.
yeah,
They live and they work, but like in a big city, they're
even in the
policing
big
areas
city.
where they don't live.
Well, no, that's not well, yes, that's true, but not necessarily. There are small townships in Orange County that have their own police officers that
True,
patrol it.
true,
They hire their
true.
own police officers. They have their own station, everything. Windermere is one. Windermere has their own police officers, their own thing, and they
I think that
just
should be
patrol that
more
area.
universal. I think that should be we should like more and more communities should do that. But
Hmm.
I also think that they should be not tied to the government because you don't have any competition. Windermere Police now they're dealing directly with their own, residents or whatever.
Hmm.
With a small group of residents that so there is more direct, but it would be even more there would be more even more incentive to do a great job
To be more
if there was
personable.
competitors out there who are willing to step in and snatch up your business. You know,
They take our jobs.
if you suck at what you do,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
true. Yeah,
But anyway, let's get to
the main
uh
thing.
yeah, the titular topic, if you will. And what a tit, because this
Woo-hoo.
person's an idiot. Okay, so um, man, Joe Rogan is under fire from
He is.
nitwits
He's got some heat on
and
him.
has-beens, but but still, it's just constantly in the news cycle. And Brian Stelter, like, who gives a crap?
Well, to be
Brian Stelter's a loser.
fair, to be fair with this, it's just I think it's more the media pushing this
Oh,
narrative to
sure.
try and push him out. So they're looking for anybody who's willing to voice an
Well,
opinion
I
in
mean,
their
he's
favor.
big time competition.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is one dude. No, it's two dudes, and probably maybe some other behind the scenes people that we don't know.
Oh, there's a
Two
crew of
dudes,
like 30 people.
probably. Um, but like it's him and Jamie.
Yep.
If you watch the podcast, um, doing a show where he interviews people that he's interested in talking to. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the entire premise of the show.
That he likes talking to interesting people.
Yes, and he gives his opinions for sure, but
And some of
mostly
them
it's
are
about
off the
listening to the
wall
other
wacky.
people. Yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's him listening to what the other person has to say, and
Yeah.
it's destroying the cable news networks in terms of viewership.
Destroying? I don't think they're in the same league. I don't think they're in the same
Yeah,
planet.
no. So they obviously, obviously the corporate media does not like that.
No.
They want to be the gatekeepers of all information
Yep.
and all ideas, and so they, this pissant is doing it on his own and better than we do. No, that can't be allowed.
Yeah. And what's great
And so then
is
you get,
he's a
and so
moderate.
then, yeah, of course.
He's a moderate. He
But
really
moderates
doesn't.
are evil. You have to be
Yeah.
radical like they are, or else you're not holy enough. Got a first time chatter guy who disagrees, and he says, "I don't agree with corporate media." Well, as a guy who disagrees,
Yeah.
stands to reason, and frankly, I agree with you. But so then Neil Young,
How dare you agree with the guy that disagrees?
yeah, right. Neil Young jumped on the bandwagon. He kind of started the bandwagon, really.
Well,
I mean, there was plenty of outrage. There was plenty of outrage over these doctors that he had on, right?
yeah. There's
But
a lot of.
Neil Young's the one who made the waves in the corporate media.
But
You know
why? Why? Or
why?
who?
Because he took a stand and said that he would, if they didn't get rid of him, he would go, and they let him go, and so
But what? Okay. Did that affect Spotify's income
no no
at
no
all?
no
Because
no. I'm just saying
if
it's making waves in the corporate media.
okay.
Like he started this tidal wave of celebrities that the corporate media is pushing. So
Oh, this guy
after
doesn't
him,
like what he said.
yes, and
Ooh.
to his credit, he had the balls to put his money where his mouth is, and they said okay, and he pulled his music. So he at least is consistent in his idiocy, you know. But I kudos to consistency because there's not a lot
Okay.
of that out
How old
there.
is Neil Young?
I mean, he's pretty old.
Okay. Does he
I
need
mean, I'm
that
not saying
money?
he's like in his 80s. He looks like 60s maybe.
Late
I don't know.
70s. No, he's late 70s easy.
Is he really?
I'm
I
pretty
mean, he
sure he's
looks good, but I mean,
early
celebrities tend to
70s,
look good because
mid,
they have money.
somewhere in the 70s. I'm pretty sure he's in the 70s.
You're probably right.
Neil
I just
Young
don't care enough to.
really doesn't need that money, right?
No, he doesn't need that
So
money.
by
He's probably
pulling
not
that
making
money
that
away,
much money.
he's
I don't
really
think
not
the
putting his
majority of
money where his mouth
Spotify.
is.
Well, no, he is because he still gets some money. But I'm just saying the majority of Spotify users aren't, you know, rabidly listening to Neil Young.
True. And that's kind of my point there is who are the people that are listening to
He's
Neil
not okay.
Young
He's
who are
not.
going to miss that music?
Yeah,
And
he's not
I'm
losing
not,
a ton of money, but he is losing some money.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he made his money decades ago and is living
yes.
off investments probably now.
Yeah,
Um,
he's definitely not,
but
probably not making tons of money off of his royalties, is my point.
yeah, I mean, I don't know the specific numbers, but you're probably right. But still, it's still something. It's still something, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's still money. I'm not going to knock
Yeah,
that
it's
by any
still
means.
money.
And it
It's
would probably
still
be a lot of money
consistency.
to somebody like you and I.
Sure. It's still consistency. All right.
Yeah,
So we can still give him his props.
yeah.
And then Joni Mitchell went with him and said, I agree with Neil Young. And,
Who's Joni
I
Mitchell?
think she's another artist from that
Oh, okay.
era. But now we got another celebrity who's jumped on, and she's brought it to kind of a new level.
Okay.
And this new level is is arrogance and and lack of information on her part. So let me read the article.
To be
Sharon Stone
fair,
says award-winning actress Sharon Stone called popular podcast host Joe Rogan an a-hole who has, quote, personally caused losses of lives by speaking to people with differing opinions about COVID-related policies, treatments, and vaccines. Now, this is a quote from her. All right, and let's just drink this in for all of its arrogance. Quote, I'm an infectious disease worker who has won the Nobel Peace Summit Award for my work with infectious disease. Harvard Awards. You know, these kinds of things. Stone boasted to TMZ on Monday, and I worked with Dr. Fauci for decades. I really wish that this article had gone into a look at what she means by that. And I'm sure she has worked with infectious diseases. She's probably done charity work. You know,
that's kind of what I was thinking too.
it's going to
Is
be charity work.
I don't
But
think
she's not.
she's breaking down the DNA of a virus in order to combine it with another virus to make a new
Exactly.
virus.
She's no virologist.
She's not
She's
DNA
a charity
coding.
worker dealing with infectious diseases.
Yeah.
All right. And so she's being extremely braggadocious here, as if this gives her credibility in the field. And I'll give her, it gives her a modicum of credibility. She's probably seen the results of infectious diseases firsthand.
Yeah.
And how terrible it is. Sure. But I'll continue, and this is just like the foundation for her new level, okay?
Okay.
So continue the quote, and I just want to say COVID is not an opinion-based situation, she continued. And Mr. Rogan thinks that his opinion or disclaimer for the lives he personally has affected and caused losses of, it's not an opinion. So a sentence that doesn't even
makes sense.
That's not a complete sentence.
No.
Basically, she wanted to say that, Rogan has opinions and that doesn't mean anything because COVID's not an opinion-based situation. Okay, we're not done. Mr. Rogan is risking people's lives with his idiocy and is professing that his thoughts about COVID are opinion. The casino actress said, they aren't opinions. COVID and infectious diseases are science, and they are fact-based situations. So, to the pretense that these are opinions is dangerous and his behavior is dangerous. He should put a disclaimer that he's an a-hole and his behavior is dangerous and affecting people's lives and deaths, added Stone. Later in the interview, Stone said her opinion is based on experience while suggesting Rogan's podcast guests lack in the area. Quote, I don't know how many of these people's opinions come with fact-based experience. So she's the expert. She's the expert because she's done charity work and won a Nobel Peace Summit Award and Harvard Awards for her work with infectious diseases. But Dr. Robert Malone, a vaccine scientist who worked on the development of mRNA technology, she doesn't even know if his opinions come with fact-based experience. She has no idea. She has no idea who Joe Rogan had on his show. She
didn't
clue.
Research at all who he was.
She just saw that everybody around her saying, Joe Rogan has all these opinions on COVID. And he's bringing these quacks on.
So?
And it's like, no, these are credible, incredibly credible scientists.
Are we done with the article, or can I start?
We can, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So
I'm ranting now. So
I'm going to proposition you with a hypothetical. All right?
Okay. You're going to proposition me.
Yeah, proposition you with a hypothetical. Dirty. Oh, yes. So say Joe Rogan actually had nobodies on. Just no experience, no no background, just Joe Schmo off the street, and he was literally giving just opinions.
Correct. Yes. Let's not correct, but yes, I agree.
You
I'm with you.
understand? Okay. What would be so bad about that?
Oh, it's spreading misinformation and it's costing people their lives.
It's an opinion. Okay, there's this thing in journalism where they called it an opinion piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they list off facts and give, this is why I think this. It's an opinion. He has an opinion-based show. It's his show. It's his opinions. Guess what?
But
it's wildly successful and popular because he gives differing opinions. He has people on there that have differing opinions. Now, some of them just so happen to be actual experts.
Mm-hmm.
It's still his opinion, but it's also the expert's opinion that's being expressed.
Yeah. Here's why this is dangerous in their minds. Because you and I, the average person, are too stupid to know the difference between opinion and fact.
So we are
just
supposed to
dumb
trust
little animals, that our lords and our saviors, the celebrities and the politicians, need to show the proper way. And when people like Joe Rogan put out other information like little lemmings, we just flock to him and do whatever Lord Rogan says. And it's just irresponsible that you treat the lessers, that you spread potential misinformation amongst the lessers because they just don't know how to handle that. They can't tell the difference.
You mean think through a problem?
They
So
don't think. They're
we're
animals.
supposed to
They're
take
pathetic animals, and we superior people, we celebrities, we superiors need to be responsible and give you. We need to be responsible and lead you the right way.
What is Sharon Stone known for? What is
Movies,
she
acting,
acting,
lying
right?
professionally.
Professional liar. She is a
Yes.
professional liar. That you can actually put that down as her profession. She lies professionally.
Yes.
I don't care what else she does. She might have a doctorate in herbology. I don't know. Also a made up thing because it's Harry Potter. I don't know, but she's known as a professional liar. Why should we trust her? Oh, she won an award for what?
She's our
What did
better.
she win an award for? For raising money for Yale, for Harvard, or whoever? And what did she win a prize for? What specifically? Oh, you mean that doctor that won a prize for mRNA technology that he created?
The Nobel Prize.
Yeah,
I believe in science.
in science for
I'm pretty sure. I don't quote me on that,
mRNA.
but I'm
For
pretty sure.
developing the technology that's a direct cause to the vaccine that they're trying to push. And he's saying, we need to question this because this, and this. Now, he wouldn't be saying that if he thought it was a good thing. And he actually does constantly say vaccines work. Vaccines work, and they do. They do. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. My kids are vaccinated. I am vaccinated for chickenpox, for smallpox, for hepatitis. All of these different things that they have vaccines for are great, but they've been long-term tested. There's long-term studies on all of these vaccines. There has not been any long-term studies for these current batches of vaccines, and that causes hesitance for me.
Okay, so I looked it up.
Okay.
She won the Peace Summit Award, the Nobel Peace Summit Award in 2013 for her quote, her activities that brought solidarity and new hope to the millions of people who have fought and are fighting against the tragedy of HIV/AIDS. And it says, Sharon's charitable foundations have given life and hope to people around the world. A devoted humanitarian, Sharon has long been active in her support and involvement with organizations around the world. In 1991, so she's founded Planet Hope, a foundation that sponsors diverse activities for homeless children of all ages and cultures. At the United Nations on World AIDS Day in 1995, Sharon Stone announced at a press conference that she had accepted an invitation to serve for 3 years as chairwoman of AMFAR's Campaign for AIDS Research. She did a Cinema Against AIDS event at the Cannes Film Festival in '98. She's served as host and auctioneer twice at AMFAR's 2x2 for AIDS and art auction in Dallas, raising nearly $2 million for AIDS research.
Good.
So she's done a lot of raising money for AIDS research. That's her infectious diseases credibility.
Good for her for raising money.
And that's how she's worked with Dr. Fauci, because as we know, Dr. Fauci was heavily involved with the AIDS epidemic when it first appeared. And if you also look into that, he gave a lot of crappy information and did a lot of fear mongering during that episode too.
I believe he was one of the people that pushed this whole thing that you could get it from drinking from the same drinking fountain as somebody who had AIDS.
Yes, he is.
Which is absolutely ridiculous today. We all know AIDS is only transmitted through sexual contact and blood transfer. Transfer. So not through saliva, not through any of these other ways, just those. And granted, that was early on, but still, just like COVID, early on, they were saying, "Oh, we got to shut everything down. This is killing millions and millions."
You don't need a mask, and then now you need masks, and you might even want 3 masks. And
COVID is going to kill 20 million people just in the United States.
Complete garbage.
Have we hit 1 million yet?
So the dude has a track record of this fear mongering.
Yeah.
Anyway,
of worst case scenario as actual scenario.
She's worked with him for decades, and she's raised money. She's an expert.
She's a campaigner.
Dr. Malone, the inventor of the technology for which the COVID vaccines are possible.
That's just his opinion.
Not so much.
His opinion.
I don't even know if he has experience. If his opinions are based on experience.
I would have to say they are.
Yeah. This is pathetic. She doesn't know who was on the show. She didn't listen to it. She doesn't know these people's qualifications, but she's Sharon Stone. She won a Nobel Peace Summit. And us lessers out here are too stupid to know the difference and to know which is fact. Or we actually already know which is who to listen to, and it's a problem that we're not listening to her and to others like her.
Well, to be fair, I don't think like you said, I don't think she's listened to the show. I don't think she's listened to Joe Rogan. I don't think she listened to those episodes. And all I think she's done is read the headlines coming out of the media to essentially propagandize this whole situation.
But underneath all of that is her disdain for the common person. She thinks she's better than us.
She doesn't want us listening to differing opinions.
Well, she thinks that we can't handle it, that we can't tell the difference, that we can't think for ourselves. She looks out at the rest of America from her home in Beverly Hills or wherever it is in California. She looks at the rest of America and sees the unwashed masses just sheep and lemmings and fools and basically Neanderthals. We're just all Neanderthals, and there she is, evolved humanity in
No,
all
just
her glory.
a woman with lots of money.
Yeah,
That's all
that
she
is all
is.
she is. A professional liar who I mean, I appreciate good acting, but
Yeah,
ultimately acting is lying. She's a professional liar who made lots of money and can wear pretty dresses. That's it.
yeah, yeah.
And she's done some decent humanitarian work. She's raised money for AIDS research,
Good for her.
Okay, cool.
Good for her.
You know. I mean,
I'm glad.
let's not
I'm
get into
glad.
all the satanic crap that is speculated about Hollywood, but
Yeah,
that's
that's a whole
that's
nother
for
ball
another
of
time.
wax.
Yeah, that's for another time. But
But the fact that okay,
and it and
part
but
of
that attitude pisses me off more than
it's the
anything
same.
else.
It's the same Hollywood attitude that we're fighting against with Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So the original 4 episodes or 3 episodes were written for people with intelligence. They're written smartly. It's not pandering. It's all right. You have to fill in the gaps in between this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the newer movies that literally just pander to the lowest denominator, and they are garbage.
They
Horrible
pandered to
story.
the lowest denominator and forced agenda points down your throat at the same time.
Yeah, which made horrible storytelling.
Sure.
Now, which would you rather have? One that actually allows you to envision and imagine and play in that universe, or one that just force feeds woke propaganda?
I want to play in that universe.
Yeah, I want to have fun. I want to be the bad guy. I like Darth Vader. I like the fact he's a
Would
villain.
you be a Sith?
I'd probably be a Bendu.
Is that a gray Jedi?
Yeah, one who
Okay.
walks both sides.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd be a Bendu.
I
As much as I love the Jedi, I think there's
Oh yeah.
problems with that.
I
But
think
then
there's
again,
problems with their
I'm
philosophy.
a libertarian, so
Yeah, there's problems with their philosophy for sure.
just like I
Um,
have problems with the Sith side. But there is a middle line that just
mhm.
speaks to me.
I don't like the only thing I don't like about the gray Jedi is their focus on balance. Lately I've come to speculation that the whole idea of balance is garbage.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it,
like
it
it's always
okay.
like
I
a
equate.
balanced. You want a balanced diet, but then I'm finding a ton of evidence that all you really need is beef.
Yeah,
So that's a pretty unbalanced diet, and yet it might be one of the healthiest diets. You
yeah.
know, um, uh, Jesus doesn't call us to be balanced. It's like I want you to be balanced. Half a foot, half your body, half yourself in the world, and half yourself in my kingdom. You know?
When God
No,
was
no,
feeding the Israelites in the desert, did he give them just vegetables?
no.
What did he feed
Actually,
them?
gave them heavenly bread, manna.
Manna.
And
And
then when that was too much, when they were like, we're so sick of manna, he's like, okay, well, here's some pheasants for you too.
meat, right?
Yep, yep.
Did he give them vegetables? Because it's not written in the Bible anywhere.
No, the only place the only place where it seems like vegetables is that it's promoting that vegetables is the way is when
Eden.
Daniel gets taken to Babylon and he's supposed to eat of the king's food
Hmm.
with all the other men and he's like it wouldn't have been following the dietary restrictions that Moses had set forth.
Correct. Well, what
All,
was the reasoning behind the dietary restrictions of Israelites?
well, yeah, well, not just getting into that, but he asked for just vegetables and water.
Yeah.
And so, like, our pastor has actually been preaching on this, and he's like, he isn't saying that the vegan diet is the proper way to eat. This is not what
No,
this is about.
no,
And, and I'm not saying it is or it isn't either. This is about them being different, them not wanting to break the dietary laws of Yahweh. This is
correct.
them staying set apart, and God doing miracles. God being there with them, and
Yes.
and making it so that vegetables and water actually made them healthier and better than the other men. We don't know what food they were eating, but either way, God was there with them because they stood up for their faith.
My guess is they were probably eating a lot of pork
Yeah, probably,
or
because that would
things
be against,
cooked in pork fat.
yeah, because beef wouldn't be. Beef is kosher.
Beef is fine.
Yeah.
I believe chicken is also okay. But they didn't really have chickens back then in that area.
Yeah.
But they did have
Goats would have been fine.
goats would have been fine, yeah. But pork was a big no-no because
Because
of
of trichinosis.
trichinosis and all the other stuff that are typically found in
Yeah.
pork that is not found anymore
It
because of the way they process it.
It turns out that the dietary laws were there because they didn't have necessarily the technology to weed out or to even know about the microscopic parasites that exist in pig flesh. And and frankly, things like lobster are like the cockroaches of the sea. They eat all the garbage.
Yep.
So all these things, like clams and mussels, they're filter feeders. They're filtering out the garbage in the water.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. That's the whole reason.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, and like a current day Jew will tell you about, an Orthodox Jew will tell you about, like the symbolism of, like you don't store milk with your meat because milk is for life, is life giving and meat is death. You have to kill the animal, to get it. And there's some symbolisms there, and
Never
and
thought
that's
about it
fine and
that way,
good
but
too.
okay.
Yeah, I've heard people talking about that, and that's fair and good too. But ultimately,
Is that why they have meat drawers and refrigerators and milk shelves? I was just
possibly,
curious.
I don't know, but yeah, that's that. It's stuff like that.
Okay.
It's really there's good scientific reason for the kosher laws. But nowadays we don't even need that because
No.
you just cook your meat all the way through, and you kill the parasites, you're good.
And the
And in fact, I
processing
think
eliminates a lot
I
of it.
read like last year that in America you can eat rare pork now.
Correct.
They've essentially eliminated the parasites from being a problem anymore.
Hmm.
So
Through use of antibiotics and other parasitic drugs that they give to the animals prior to slaughter.
mhm,
It eliminates most, if not all, of the parasites. So you don't have to worry about undercooked meat as much. Still worry about
mhm,
it. There's still salmonella. There's still other stuff that you can get
sure.
that can make you
But
sick,
like in a
blah, blah, blah.
steak, in a steak, the surface is the only thing that it's not going to penetrate deep, like E. coli and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It gets killed when you sear the surface, so you can still eat it rare.
Yeah. You
The
can
only
still eat
reason you couldn't
almost
eat
raw.
pork rare, yeah, the only reason you couldn't eat pork rare was because there was parasites in the meat,
Inside the meat.
and you
Yeah.
would get sick. But now that's not even a problem anymore, thanks to
Correct.
technology.
Woo!
Anyway,
Anyways,
you brought it up, and we got sidetracked. But
we did. But
yeah,
I think the main point of this whole thing is there are people with good background and researched opinions that we should at least listen to. And then
yes,
there are people that don't like what other people say and will bitch and moan, lack of a better
yep,
word, bitch and moan because they don't like what this person is saying. And that's exactly
And
what's
you know what?
happening.
It's not up to frickin' Sharon Stone what you do with your body.
It's not
And
up
it's
to
not up to
CNN.
frickin' Sharon Stone what Joe Rogan says or who he interviews on his podcast. It's not up to frickin' Sharon Stone anything involving your life except for what movies she stars in.
Which,
You know?
quite honestly,
Sure,
I
it's
don't
up to
like most
frickin'
of her
Sharon
films.
Stone what she does with her life. And it's up
Yeah.
to you what you do with your life. And she can cram it with frickin' walnuts.
Welcome to freedom and liberty. Liberty is being able to think what you want, when you
Who the hell
want,
do
how
these
you
people
want.
think they are? Who do they think they are? The arrogance is astounding, man. I
Yeah.
can't stand it. Do you have any final thoughts?
Money begets evil.
The love of money is the root of all evil. Yes.
Yeah.
Bible teaches
Well,
us that.
I don't like the exact wording of that, but yes, in a lot of cases that's
Yeah, there's
true.
probably a better translation, but it's the love of money. If you love money more than you love God,
Then yeah, that's a problem. That's a serious problem.
yep.
Money is not an issue
Money's a tool.
until money is a tool. Money is a tool. I love that analogy. Money is a tool. I've heard it said like that before, but mm. um, it's like a hammer. It's like a gun. It's a tool that can be used in many different ways.
Yep.
It can be used for good. It can be used for evil, but innately it's neutral.
I want money to be to allow myself more freedoms.
Yep.
To enjoy some nice things in life.
Hmm.
Not all the nice things, not every nice thing, not at the expense of being a good person or anything like that, or following God. But nice things are nice. It's nice to enjoy them.
Yeah.
And I want money to help other people. That's
Yeah.
what I want money for. Um, and that is all that extends to my family, all those things. But
That is a natural
yeah,
extension.
of course I would think so. But you got to say it. Um, uh, I don't want money to. I want to use money. I don't want money to use me. You know.
Correct. The pursuit of
I
money for the sake of money leads you down all kinds of
Yep. It's a
bad
form of
paths.
bondage.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
So
Um, yeah. That's a good one. Um,
I think
I
that's a good
had
place to
one.
end this.
Well, I have a final thought that
Okay.
I need to think about for a second.
So with that, there's a lot of good things you can do. Look at what Elon Musk has done. The guy's one of the
Mm-hmm.
richest people in the world, and he's actually creating an entire city based on his space program in
Really?
Texas. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right on the Gulf Coast, and he's building literally this entire city based on his space program that will launch and land right there. Essentially, it's the new space coast, like Florida has the space coast. He's building his own.
Well, that kind of sucks because the Florida Space Coast could use
You could use
some
the influx.
revitalization.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah. It's still using technology from 30, 40, 50 years ago, which
Hmm.
needs work.
Yeah. I
But at
think
the same
Blue
time,
Origin is here.
yes.
SpaceX does some stuff here too,
Oh
but
yeah, they have launches all the time. They did they've got they launched one yesterday, and they launched another one the day before that. Starlink satellites.
mhm.
It was pretty cool. I happened to be driving down 441 and saw the launch, and I was just like, oh hey, cool. Oh, got to drive.
Nice. Okay, so my final thought. Yesterday we were talking about um,
Giving thanks.
Whoopi Goldberg,
Yeah.
And she went on Stephen Colbert and doubled down
Oh God,
on her statements a bit. Basically, she stated that she basically stated a difference between ethnicity and race, and which is just complete nonsense. So that's the same thing.
They share a lot of commonalities. Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference?
What between?
Ethnicity is race, and race is ethnicity.
Um,
But they want it to be. They want there to be only two races: white people, the evil oppressors, and
everybody
color
else.
and people of color.
Everybody else.
I almost said the wrong way to say that, which it shows you how nonsensical it is.
Yeah.
If you have melanin in your skin, then you're, naturally, without having to go in the sun, I guess, you're a person of color and you're oppressed. And if you don't, you're white and you're an oppressor. And that's all that they want it to be. And it's just
you
complete
oppressor.
garbage. But and Ray had said that it was good that she got suspended, and I guess it is because they I mean, really she would have been suspended pending firing.
Well,
Suspended
okay.
and then fired if she was on the right. But
My issue is this: she would have been fired on the spot. There would not be any suspension. There would not be any entertainment
But we
of
don't
anything.
live in a world of consistency, so
But they keep screaming about equity. Equity.
Yeah.
There should be equity.
Equity is not equality.
No.
Equity means
whatever you want it to mean when you want it to mean it.
Well, equity means like what they did was equitable. She was only suspended because because she's a person of color, and so she's oppressed, and so you can't come down as hard as on her as somebody who is an oppressor. An oppressor needs to be fired immediately.
Whoopi Goldberg's oppressed. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that is the ideology, and it's a joke. It's a joke.
Whoopi Goldberg is oppressed.
Whoopi Goldberg isn't even her freaking real name.
Of course not. It's her stage name.
That's her stage name. So she basically appropriated a Jewish name while claiming that Jews are whites, and that it wasn't, that the Holocaust wasn't about race. Oh man. Anyway, so but there was something else that we said that I wanted to. I think it was my final thought. What was my final thought yesterday?
Oh gosh.
Man,
I don't recall at this moment. I'm sorry.
It was that.
I'll probably remember it in like 10 minutes when we're off the air and be like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, here's how I'm gonna put it then. Okay. Whatever my final thought was yesterday, which I can't remember the specifics of it, but it was basically talking about something external to the person that needs to be. We need to stay awake. I said, here's what I said. I said that tyranny. So I used the verse, from Genesis: sin is crouching at your door, and its desire is to have you, but you must master it. Right?
Yes.
And I said tyranny is sin. It's crouching at your door. Its desire is to have you. You must master it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But we also have to understand that that's not tyranny. That's not just tyranny out there. It's also the tyrant inside of you that's aching to get out and be tyrannical.
Correct.
So sin is crouching. Sin and tyranny is crouching at your door. Its desire is to have you. It either wants to destroy you or wants to turn you into a tyrant. So be mindful of that as well. That was my final thought.
And to piggyback on that, and to piggyback what we were talking about earlier in this episode, it's exactly what we're talking about with self-control and responsibility in owning a firearm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where that little voice inside your head that, oh, you can do it, you can do whatever. Being able to control yourself, have that self-control to be able to go, I can do what needs to be done in the moment when it needs to be done. I can carry a firearm. Knowing that you have that inside yourself. That is exactly what we're talking about. The people that can responsibly carry a gun, that can train themselves to carry the gun responsibly, to know how to use that tool in the right way, should carry that firearm and should be allowed to, no questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're asking for.
I agree.
So,
on that note, thank you all for watching. And you have been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram, and minds.com. Peace out. God bless.
Oh, man. Yeah. Ryan's in here, too. He's silent, though. Yeah. This one for my aces. Came from different bases. Traveling them places, yeah. Conquering the nations. Ain't no rocket science, but chemistry what made us. Keep on dropping hits till they know we the greatest, yeah, yeah. Everything is alright. In the studio, we be all night. Everything is alright. In the studio, we be all night.
We been flying, look out, beat though. People trying, too much ego. I can take 'em out solo like Greedo. We been flying, look out, beat though. People trying, too much ego. I can take 'em out solo like Greedo.
Close, never been an iota. On another level, top flow, below us. Ultralight beam me up, deep flow. Better retreat from these space force. Close, never been an iota. On another level, top flow, below us. Ultralight beam me up, deep glow. Better retreat from these space force. This one for my aces. Came from different bases. Traveling them places, yeah. Conquering the nations. Ain't no rocket science, but chemistry what made us. Keep on dropping hits till they know we the greatest, yeah, yeah. Everything is alright. In the studio, we be all night. Everything is alright. In the studio, we be all night.
We been flying, look out, beat though. People trying, too much ego. I can take 'em out solo like Greedo. We been flying, look out, beat though. People trying, too much ego. I can take 'em out solo like Greedo.
Never been an iota. On another level, top flow, below. Ultralight beam me up, deep flow. Better retreat from these space force. Close, never been an iota. On another